everyone, I'm Amps, an admin for the Nimdom, and this is our Nimdom Top 10 series. I will explain how the Top 10 series and the channel on our Discord server will work. Every Tuesday on Nim's Twitch channel, we go over units that viewers have submitted on stream, and we usually end it off with the Nimdom Top 10 Heroes. In order to have a chance at being selected as a Nimdom Top 10 Hero, you must be part of our Discord, and you have to submit your hero to the #Hero Reviews channel. As it stands right now, you may submit as many heroes as you like. Just be sure to include your friend code or specify that you're already on Nim's friends list. If you would like, you can also specify if the build is more focused for a certain game mode like Arena or Ether Raids. Our Heroes Review staff will only pick one of your heroes to be featured, meaning if you submit 2 or more heroes, only one of them can make it. How the channel works is that it will open on Tuesday's reset, which is 12 AM PST, 3 AM EST. The channel will stay open until Saturday's reset, which is also 12 AM PST and 3 AM EST. And after this time period, the channel will no longer be accepting more submissions, and the Heroes Review team will be looking over heroes to be featured on the stream on Tuesday.
These builds all look pretty meh. Except for that Black Knight. I want him.
If your hero is chosen to be featured as an Nimdom Top 10, one of the Hero Review staff members will contact you on Saturday or Sunday, and you'll have until Monday's reset, which is 12 AM PST, 3 AM EST, to contact them back, otherwise your hero may not be featured. The channel will then open up again on Tuesday at 12 AM PST, 3 AM EST, and the cycle will reset and it'll just be as is. And yeah, that's basically how the channel works. If you have any more questions, you can ask me on the Discord server, or you could talk to one of the Hero Review staff members. Anyways, here are the heroes for this week.
Alright, but Vex tier 20. Oh, thanks, Puffball Gamer.
Thanks for the great content, Nims. I have been watching for a while and will continue to do so because I like watching our streams so much. Check the heroes already, lol.
Thanks for the support, dude, and thanks for the kind words. That means a lot to me. But what do you mean by check the heroes already? Oh, we are trying to check the heroes. It's stupid gamer's fault. I'm gonna blame him.
At this point, I'm just here for the ride.
This is pretty impressive. So, with Libra, when Libra came out, we officially got Gen 2 standardized in terms of 4 stars. So, at that time, when Libra came out, we already had Soleil, who was the first one, then we had Shigure, then we had Libra. So that was like... But the difference between Soleil, Shigure, and Libra was that Soleil and Shigure generally had higher attack and really good speed, but Libra had higher attack, but just decent speed. So it was really interesting. He was more defensive in nature. But I too made a 5-star Libra with plus speed. Alright, but yeah, Ardent Service, this is from Marth. Groom Marth. It adds plus 4 speed as long as he's around somebody. It's just home speed. Yeah. Wait, no, it's hone attack. I keep messing that up with minions. Alright, but yeah. Plus 4 attack to unit and adjacent allies for 1 turn. You can buff yourself. That's really cool. That's really nice. It's also not bad. You know, it's 14 might, HP plus 5, speed plus 3. Moonbow, that's fine. Swift Sparrow 2, and Darting Blow. So you reach 50 speed and 55 attack. Alright. And then with Chill Defense and B, that's not bad. Only issue is like, his defense and res doesn't quite keep up that well. And Joint Host Speed. I think you have too much speed. Why are you going so fast? That's potentially 55 speed, 55 attack, but why? Do you guys remember how memey it was when we first got Woo Gun? Everyone was like, he's got a gun!
Shut up.
That was a pretty corny time.
That's actually the first time I even heard
pass
that.
2,
Really?
dude. Can pass on this bad boy
What would you even need pass from?
to fight in arena.
Like, who do you get it from?
You get it from Fear.
Wait, one sec.
Gaia.
You saw what he was going for, right? I think he really wanted to just... I think he wanted to double Darting Blow as the ability show. Alright,
Yeah,
cool.
double darting blow pass 3 is really good.
Nice. All right. But yeah, in terms of everything, I would just say probably use desperation. Chill defense, as good as it is. You don't really have the bulk to sustain more than 2 combat phases if they counterattack. So that's the only issue. But other than that, the rest of the build is really good. I would just say maybe not use Darting Blow here because you're already hitting at 44 speed, which is generally enough. Just use another seal and desperation. This is what I would say.
Yeah, man, as far as why we ended up picking that one, it kind of actually plays into both an offensive Libra and also a very supportive Libra. And I mean, in Arena, definitely the support is very, very nice to have. And then if you need to use him to chip a little bit, because he doesn't really hit super hard. And from my experiences using Sheena, who also doesn't hit very hard, I mean, you can usually chip down a pretty bulky unit to where you can immediately swoop in with your bonus unit and pick up that bonus kill.
Fair enough, because you're right. Ardent Service is +4 attack. Joint Hone Speed is +5 to speed, so you get 4 attack, 5 speed, and then Chill Defense is consistently there. But my question is it actually for Arena? I actually have no idea what tier 20 looks like anymore.
That. I mean, it could also be a tier 20.5 kind of deal as well. So, I mean, that was the reason why I took it as an assumption of it's a very supportive and also a potentially offensive, if needed to be, Libra.
Okay, I can kind of see it, but I'm just kind of questioning if 2 merges is enough for tier 20 nowadays. I actually have no idea. Gamers, do you have any idea?
It just really depends on it.
What's up?
Tier 20 points, what does it look like? How many merges do you guys need for tier 20 nowadays? I have no idea.
That was very sad. I think you're asking the wrong person because I'm basically the one guy that probably knows everything about the cutoffs. But I mean, as far as the overall points, I mean, from my personal experiences, as long as you have a good team around certain units, I mean, you can definitely throw in like a +2 merge Libra or something like that and be able to get away with it.
Sure, but what does that mean? What about the other heroes? What are they at? General merges in the team.
I mean, more often than not, what it comes down to is I run a team of 3+10s and then.
Okay, but if you run 3+10s, you'll make it in. But I mean, for like normal people just struggling for tier 20.
Yeah, and I mean, it could also be 19.5. I mean, to get into 20, you're probably looking about mid to upper 3600s, maybe sometimes flirting with 3700. And then dropping, I mean, obviously you don't care. Staying, you're probably looking around 3700 to 3720, depending on the week.
Are you sure?
And then, yeah, I mean, there's been weeks where it's gotten pretty brutal recently, and I know this week especially, it's not going to be fun trying to move up to tier 21, tier 20, or even in my case, actually this week, I'm trying to stay tier 21 for the first time.
Okay. Luda says, oh yeah, to get into 20, you're good with 10+2. Wait, 10+2. What does that even mean?
I think he probably meant 2+10. He probably might have mixed the numbers up, I'm assuming.
Well, that Libra has an Anima Blessing, so I took that as maybe used for Ether Raid.
But
oh, I didn't even look at that, actually.
But the problem with that is he's just beat for defense, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, that could be a supportive build for defense. I mean, that would make sense as well.
Oh.
Because I actually used Hana with a chill defense and similar supportive skills for my Aether Raids defense team. And granted, my Aether Raids defense team is basically, I woke up late one night and was like, I'm just going to go ahead and throw something together. So it ended up being my Arena Core plus a couple of other units that I figured were kind of spoopy.
I'm not sure about that. You generally do not want to go for melee infantry, because unless they're Keaton, unless there's something that can really just skew the battle with like insane burst damage. Because with Libra, you don't really have defensive values or the offensive values. So I don't know if this is, I mean, Anima Blessing is kind of hinting towards that, but I'm not sure how well that actually works out.
I mean, it could also be the fact that they just don't really care about Aether Raids like a bunch of other people, including myself, that I know of.
All right.
Yes. The next person that's DMs from someone else. We have T.
What? Are you?
With
This is so clearly biased. How do you get?
Not biased, okay?
You voted
It's
yourself in.
I have nothing to do with it, Nims. They look at the
Uh-huh.
heroes. They talk
Uh-huh.
about it. I literally sit on the sidelines of that.
Uh-huh,
You know
uh-huh,
what- you know
Mr.
what you should do?
Mr. I
You should
organized
ask
the hero reviews. As you said yesterday, that's exactly what you said to me.
Oh yeah, I mean, I basically work on it, make sure that we're all doing exactly what we need to do. But as far as
And then you make it
voting,
in. And then you make
I-
it in.
Ask Ryu if that's the case.
Man, I'm just saying, if it's my bill, I don't talk about it at all.
Ryu, imagine you're in front of a court of law and you've promised to speak the truth, right? Okay. Tell us how corrupt this man is. Tell us he pointed a gun at the back of your head and to vote for him. Tell us the truth.
Is Ryu even awake right now? I swear to God, I heard him snoring earlier.
He fell
Nim,
asleep
I
a
think
while
he's
ago.
out. I think he is out for the count. This is what I was afraid of on Tuesday. He fell asleep waiting. Now he fell asleep on the street.
I mean,
Because I actually typed in the chat earlier, I think I hear Mike snoring because I swear Ryu is sleeping. So you will never know just how corrupt I truly am.
Gamers DM'd me about 20 minutes ago saying that he hears some snoring.
earlier in the stream, somebody said somebody's snoring, and I'm just like, are you telling me this is
Dude,
boring?
that-
This is what I took it as.
I'm serious. I thought I heard snoring. And I listened a little harder. I was like, oh my God, Ryu's sleeping.
Dude, my fucking stomach hurts. Oh, that's so funny.
Someone needs to clip this. This is brilliant.
Oh my God.
This right here is why I love being on here with you guys.
Oh, that was magic.
The thing is, last Tuesday this guy fell asleep too. Like we had the trailer reveal and everything. He was just we had to move him to another chat because he was just snoring.
Yeah,
If you look at,
exactly. I was
Discord right now, you can see
freaking
his
out
mic.
because I didn't know if he was actually going to be able to keep sleeping because I was afraid somebody was going to drop in and play really loud music, freaks the kid out, and I would have felt terrible. So I actually was messaging Amps the whole time, and I was like, is there a way we could get him out of a VC right now, or what can we do? Because if he wakes up, I'm going to feel really, really bad. So yeah, he moved him over to mod chat where pretty much nobody ever goes. So
What are you talking
He was able to sleep.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
Mod chats for when we need to discuss important matters. We go there pretty often, dude. I don't think you're allowed to see mod chat though.
I think it was Amps that moved him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Amps moved him. Yeah, but like I said, Amps basically said that because you guys rarely use it unless absolutely necessary, he can sleep there.
Where is Ryu, anyways?
He's right here. Don't you see his mic
No,
on
I'm-
and off?
I mean, what region is he in, or like?
I think he's like 4 hours ahead of where I'm at right now. At my time, it's 8:55, so he's at 12:55. Right
Wait, how do you
now.
reach 1250? He's American.
Don't ask me. I mean, that's just what he said.
What?
I think
He's EST. It's 9:55 p.m., guys.
He said he was 4 hours ahead of what I was because, like,
How?
when we were talking on Tuesday, he said that at around like 7 something, it was 11 something his time.
Then he's not American, but he's what the? I have no idea. Okay, that's
He's
so
out
weird.
Somewhere in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, that's the only place he could be.
He
Hey,
lives in
like I
or
said,
something.
that's all he told me. I don't ask questions.
Oh, they're
beyond
saying Virginia.
Wait, if he's on Virginia, then how is he asleep at? Okay, I am.
Like I said, I'm just going off the information he told me. I mean, if he's in Virginia, then it is what it is. I just know that he tries to go to sleep early because he also wakes up super early.
Okay, I see.
So I'm not terribly surprised that he fell asleep.
Wait a minute. Isn't Virginia just...
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, there's no way he's in Virginia.
I
Like
know.
I said,
I'm pretty sure
that's what he told me.
T, unless you're telling us he's in the middle of the ocean. I mean, this man might be stranded. I don't know.
All right, let's do this.
So, do you want to explain to me why your Cordy is attack speed bond aerobatics guidance 3? Like, I understand the aerobatics guidance 3 meta. Like, it's super interesting when it works out, but you kept her really offensive because the Slaying Lance Gale Force build for Cordy is a standard, but then you kind of just ditch all the other skills that make it the standard. So, want to explain it?
And then just being able to essentially use her as reposition on steroids, because I can move any unit around as long as they're within 2 spaces of her, and I can basically just position them however I want. She's kind of like my crutch in Arena, because I can make sure that everything that I want to have lined up is exactly the way I want to have it lined up.
But the only issue is, like, you don't really have the defensive value. So you say you get the Gale Force up, what are you going to do with it?
More often than not, I do one of 2 things. I either try and make sure that I set up positioning for my bonus unit, or I get her the hell out of dodge, because at that point she's usually so weak that I just try and immediately put her into a support role.
But then you just use her one time then.
Well, yeah, I mean, attack-wise, I can go ahead and use her to chip a unit if I absolutely need to try and go in and get a kill with a bonus unit. Like, for instance, this week I've used her a few times to go in and chip a hefty armor dragon, because I'm using Legendary Ike this week at +5 merge to try and get my tier 21 stay for the first time.
So
and
wait,
been...
this is your
Go
arena
ahead.
build then?
Yes, sir.
What, isn't that okay? Huh.
Yeah, because I mean, if I need a little bit of extra damage against like a wary fighter armor or something like that, or against a speedy unit, I can go ahead and trigger that bond to get a little bit of extra damage in for that added chip value. And if I think that I'll actually end up killing them by doing damage calc and making sure that I'm actually going to end up killing them with the bond, if I can still chip them down to almost nothing at that point without it, and then still have her survive, I can go ahead and do that and just make sure that I have my bonus unit ready to drop in and get the kill.
Because the one issue that I have seeing this is, like, a lot of situations where you attack, they have it's armor with, like, you know, vengeful fighter, and then you really struggle to attack those characters because you don't get the kill, and you don't want to get the kill, but they have no problem getting the kill on you.
Yeah, and that's when, if they have Vengeful, you just go ahead and you set her up into bait range, because I can also buff her up with other units if need be.
Wait, why are you buffing her? Okay. Sure. But wait, so you're actually running aerobatics and guidance 3 in arena?
Yes.
Why?
Because, like I said, I mean, it's got a bit of a spoopy combo with it, because I can literally warp in a unit if I need to be able to try and get the kill. Like, for instance, in Arena Assault, if I need to try and get a Hana across water or something like that to go ahead and fight a Surtur,
Sure.
I could immediately do that. Or if I have bad positioning and I can go ahead and try and reposition my units around a little bit to set up possibly trying to tank a couple of hits from an armored dragon or something like that, I can go ahead and I can use her to kind of set the table for me. Or, like, for instance,
I get it. I get it. I'm just saying, like, but in terms of support, usually the support skills general idea of it are like debuffs, like chill skills for your B skill, or like poison strike for your seal, or things like that. So it's really interesting to see you go for support skills in terms of just pure movement. Usually movement's not the issue, because a lot of times in, like, tier 21 arena, you're fighting against armors and they're hardly moving. The bigger problem is, like, how do you get your bonus hero to do enough damage to make it worthwhile?
Yeah, and that's the reason why I run chill defense on Hana, actually. Basically, all of my other units do all of the debuffing, and she's just there to set the table for me.
Okay, that's really interesting. This is the first time ever I've seen somebody, like, use movement-based for movement-based support heroes. Well, everyone's a support hero in arena, but
Yeah,
except for your
definitely.
bonus heroes. But yeah, this is the first time. That's really interesting.
Yeah,
Would
I
it-
mean, she definitely works well because I've got a 38-25 this week.
Okay, but wouldn't you want to use New Year leg yarns Lance? Because that's chill defense. Chill. No, it's what is it? Chill what again?
Chill defense.
Chill defense, right? Wouldn't you want to use that? Because
Well-
slaying just gets you faster gale force, but I'm not really sure why you would need it.
Well, at the time, obviously when I made her, we didn't have New Year
Oh, right.
leg, so I went ahead and just tried to use what I could. And if I gave her Slaying Spear, she'd be nuking just about every red armor that sometimes I can actually chip down with, well, using her.
But you said you
And
have
then-
Hana.
Well, yeah, I do have her, and she definitely comes in handy whenever I need it. But like I said, if I give her like Slaying Spear, there's been more often than not she ends up killing just about whatever she sees, just based on the damage calc that I go ahead and run on her.
Okay, I mean, sure. That just seems a bit redundant in my books because usually, if you have Hana, you don't really have to worry about the armor. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, I guess if you want to have more redundancy there, but
Yeah, I mean, like I said, at the time, it was just something that I actually did not have Slaying Spear fodder. I had Slaying Lance fodder, and I was like, this might be able to work. And oddly enough, it's actually worked out fairly well.
I'm going to have to take your word for it because it's hard for me to see it. This is literally the first time I've seen movement based, but yeah.
Yeah, I kind of figured that you would definitely think it was interesting. And the other guys that looked at it also agreed. And then I just kind of sat back and let them vote on it. And they said that they wanted to put it in. So I was like, hey, let's go ahead and do it.
Okay, the Fear Giver, you said you get a triple tactic unit, Cordy, and a dry bot with bonus unit. Seems good. Yeah, that would be good, but that's not what he described. All right, who's next, gamers?
Alright, the next person we have is Weepsabix.
Oh, he's back, and it's not Sakura.
Oh.
Yeah, we decided to give him a redemption because last week was kind of ugly.
Okay.
I've only heard about this guy because I became a basement boy once this man came into the mix, so I know nothing about this man's.
Okay.
He makes a lot of emote suggestions.
I mean, doesn't everybody at one point?
Okay, I mean, it's very clear what he thinks, so...
He said that for when you inevitably tear shame him again.
Okay, so Weeba 6 tier oh no, I can't read anymore. Tier 6 Weeba 6. Nima Bully is his name now. Nice. Wow.
I see tier 1.
Tier 1. Yeah, you're right. What am I saying? Tier 1 Weeba 6. Warrior
I see a
Priestess
tier
Celica.
1.6.
What? Wow. Damn, dude couldn't even reach tier 2. They wouldn't even round up for him. Okay.
I'm okay.
Fury 4? Why? Alright.
I don't see it.
Doesn't that take you us? Wait a second. Oh, you're not using double lion. That's fine then. Okay.
Yeah, he's not using double lion. I was thinking about that too, actually, when we were going over, and I was like, wouldn't it be better using double lion? And I was like, oh yeah, Fury 4 was kind of screwed up.
All right. So here's my question.
Go ahead.
What's the bill here?
What's the build? Well, I mean, you can see it. I mean,
I don't. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I don't see what he's trying to do here.
Okay.
I mean, I can go ahead and I can explain it.
Okay. Let me just say this so far.
Go ahead.
So Royal Sword, for anyone who doesn't know, if units within 2 spaces of an ally grants unit special cooldown charge +1, aka she gets really, really fast specials. All right, but your special here is Ether. And here's the thing: you're dropping your HP really quickly with Fury, and then you get into Brazen, and then you get into Brazen, and you trigger Ether, and then you're probably out of Brazen, and then you're gonna Special Spiral the Ether. So you're gonna have a bunch of situations where you drop in and out of Brazen, and then you're gonna defense smoke. Okay, so what's the plan here? Okay, wait. You still need to take some damage for Fury 4 by itself does not take you into Brazen attack. Oh, actually, no, it does actually. Yeah, it does. Okay, so you get into Brazen attack defense after one combat phase. So you have 61, 40, and after that you're going to be relying on Ether, Special Spiral, and especially the placement of your allies. Yeah, for Royal Sword. All right, but yeah, you can explain it. I need some explanations.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at it, we definitely like the play off of Royal Sword because that basically will get you a very quick Ether. More often than not, you're probably going to end up triggering it in the first phase because 49 speed, more often than not, you're going to be doubling. So you're going to take a hit, you're going to go down to 3, you're going to take it down to 2, deal a hit, you're going to be ready to go. And if you kill that enemy, you immediately have Aether ready to go for your next foe. And then you drop in, say hi, drop Aether on him, recharge all your health. You trigger Special Spiral, you get down to 3 cooldown, and then the next phase you go into, you're going to be going from 3 to 2, well, 3 to 1, and then you're going to be ready to go after you get hit again. And then you're going to retaliate with another Aether. And then you're pretty much going to be repeating that. And if you get down low enough into HP, then you're going to have Brazen on top, along with a seemingly infinite Aether.
I guess so, yeah, I guess so. Because even after you trigger Ether, the Fury chip damage, so you're going to keep yourself in Brazen attack defense.
Yeah, I mean, when we looked at it, it actually looked like a very unique and actually very workable build, so we really appreciate it.
It's interesting because I understand the Royal Sword is really going to get you the fast Ether. That's the best part of this build. But whenever you look at Celica, it's the idea is to how do you use Brave Lion as often as possible? That's a general idea.
Yeah, and usually with something like that, you need to have some kind of outside healing source to be able to do that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so it's super unfortunate. Guys, I think everyone generally agree from CYL2, Celica is the worst of the bunch. It's hard to argue against Veronica. Everybody uses Veronica. It's definitely hard to argue against actually, Brave Hector and Brave what is Ephraim? They're both amazing, so yeah, there's not much to talk about.
Yeah, Celica's basically Deathblow 4 fodder, unfortunately.
And Gale Force.
Yeah. See, that's the thing.
You could get both. That's true.
That's what gets to me because you could yeah, you're right. But what gets to me is the fact that you switch Gale Force to Ether, Deathblow 4 to Fury 4, Brave Lion to Special Spiral 3. So that's an immense cost. But you're right. I looked at it wrong at the start because Fury 4 does in fact always trigger afterwards, which keeps you in Brazen attack defense, which therefore makes this build a lot more plausible because you already have really high natural speed, and then you're going to take up her defense and attacks. That makes sense.
I kind of see it now that I look at it. When I first glanced over, it looked like the jankiest build, but now that you put some depth into it, it makes more sense.
Hey, that's the reason why we spend hours looking at this stuff, because we want to try and make sure that we give everybody the fairest chance, and we want to make sure that we see it on all different levels, because, I mean, first glance, I had the same thought as well, and then after looking at it and talking about it, you really do see the genius behind all of this.
Which is funny coming from the guy who did defensive soccer.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Hey, like I said, I definitely want to give the guy redemption, and so did the other guys for hero reviews, and I think this definitely does that.
Yeah, true.
I don't know if I would go with... No, now that I think about it, you're jumping from Aether to Aether, which is pretty smart, but it's also pretty risky, considering you may not always get the kill. And that's just my idea, but I take that back. You're going to be doing a lot of damage either way.
Mm-hmm.
So, I see where he's coming from.
All right, good job, Weeba 6. All right, continue on for the hero review. We have Holy Nun, tier 13. Oh, it's an unlucky number, and it's Nina.
13.
What?
Big numbers.
Did anyone expect it to be a plus 10 Nina? The heck? Also, Fury
Some whales
4?
just don't care about arena, I guess.
Damn, wow.
How
Wow.
big is that split?
Okay. What the heck? Fury with Fire Sweep is... Huh. That is strange. So, the best thing about Fury, I think most people can agree on, is the fact that you have recoil damage, and that using conjunction with skills that need you to be under a certain HP threshold is the best way of using it. The idea of Fire Sweep Bow is to not get counterattacked, therefore not take damage. So to put Fire Sweep Bow with Fury 4 together, I have never seen that. My expectation is this to be about the fast special spirals. Before somebody argues, hey, Fury 4, it's worth more points than Swiss Sparrow. You're right. But this isn't a build that cares for Arena. Sorry, this isn't for a person that seems to care about Arena. So, if it was the case, I could definitely see it. But from my viewpoint, the Fury 4, extra attack, extra speed. But the problem is you're dropping your HP so quickly that, and she can't counterattack in the first place. Though she does have quite a bit of defense and res, anyways. But yet the idea I see is the extra HP. Sorry, the extra res, extra speed, and extra attack is what the Fury 4 is mostly about. That gets a defense ploy, and then you're going to attack twice, hopefully get the kill, and then trigger have Blazing Wind ready for the next fight, thanks to Flashing Blade. So T, what was the arguments you guys made for this one?
I mean, for this one, like you said, and I agree 100%. I mean, Fury plus Fire Sweep, at first glance, of course, you're going to do a double take, and you're going to ask every question you just asked pretty much in chronological order. But then you take a look a little bit closer, and you look at all the stats that she has. And, I mean, 55 attack is definitely not something to sneeze at. The 40 res is going to work extremely well with defense ploy. You got 46 speed there, which more often than not is going to be enough to double. So once you double, you're obviously going to be triggering Flashing Blade. You're going to get your Blazing Wind ready to go. More often than not, you're probably going to end up killing whatever you're using that against, especially.
Yeah,
we
definitely
can safely assume that we're not going to be seeing this against like tier 20 or tier 21 type teams. And then at that point, you're going to have that ready to go. Probably try and repo her out or draw back or do something to at least get her out of enemy range. And then you're going to have that nuclear bomb sitting back there ready to go. Send her in, just literally nuke whatever she can possibly get with Blazing Wind. Take out that target and then pretty much leave the rest of the field pretty weak. So really the Fury damage you don't have to worry about because her goal is simple. Don't get attacked, and I think this is definitely built to make sure she doesn't ever get attacked.
Well, you have to attack and put yourself in range first to get the Blazing Wind, though.
Well, I'm saying for the fact that you're not going to be getting attacked back.
Well, yeah, sure. But if you do, I think you might be screwed.
Yeah, if you take an attack back, you're very well screwed. That's why, looking at that build, I kind of thought of it from a, if you're not the AI and you're actually in control kind of situation,
Yeah.
what exactly would you try and do with this build?
All right. Anyways, I definitely see it. It's a really interesting build. I guess it goes to the old adage of melee, just don't get hit. Nice.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, the fact that it does have a very unique take for the Fury Fire Sweep combo, and the fact that I just heard that you basically have never seen anything like it before. I mean, that right there definitely gives me enough justification for including it.
My personal belief of always with Fire Sweep is you take the Swiss Barrel option just because of how Swiss Barrel works in general. The Fury option is really interesting, and I can understand it, but I think it's a bit overkill just for because the biggest portion of this is for the defense play. Otherwise, when you're attacking, your attack speed is already high enough up, and while you can argue that extra defense and res is helping you when you do get attacked, you're not counterattacking anyways, and you're taking that 8 chip damage, so you're not really saving on HP. So it's a really interesting combination.
Just,
It's not. It's not.
His name's TheChadOgma.
And naturally, his lead is none other than Ogma.
All right, nice. All right, I'm looking for this. TheChadOgma. Real talk, Ogma is a Chad. The first legit Chad in Fire Emblem ever was Ogma. I mean, this man goes out there just for the princess's sake. And when the princess says, "I don't need your help. You should look after this Marf boyo," and he did his duties, even though he clearly cares. He's a Chad, all right. He cares. Anyways, first time ever seeing a +10 Ogma. Holy shit. Holy shit.
This is a treat.
What the heck is this? Jesus. All right. So, fun fact, everyone can make a +10 Ogma. I'm pretty sure you've gotten 50 Ogmas by now. You probably don't realize it because you keep sending him home. Most people don't even make him into a combat book. I understand. I definitely do.
Or in my case, I pulled a minus attack 5-star pity breaker and fed him to a Celif just because I felt like doing it.
Okay, that's even worse. But with all that said, after his refine, he got if unit's attack is over foe's attack, grant special cooldown charge +1 per unit's attack. Basically heavy blade, and then says if unit is within 2 spaces of flying or infantry ally, grants attack speed +4 during combat. More of a reference to his relationship with Sheeta, and the fact that he was a gladiator and whatnot. Cool throwback to the games. I do appreciate when they don't have a special weapon, but then they take inspiration to make a special weapon. So that's cool. But yeah, with that said, the combination is for fast noon times. Distant counter special spiral. The idea is once special spiral triggers, you just have instant noon times. Wait a second. You're not really using Gladiator's Blade to its full effect anymore, though. After you trigger one time, you just have instant noon times.
Well, I mean, honestly, the fact of the matter is, at the beginning of the fight, if you need to try and get noontime ready to trigger, that helps when you're trying to fight units that have guard. Because at that point, you can at least get that cooldown ready to go at that point. So the guard meta is a very real thing, unfortunately. So you have to take that in consideration when you're making stuff like this.
Okay. Sure. I guess if you're really scared of guard, generally guard isn't much of an issue unless you're fighting like Serra or something with steady stance. But I understand it. It's just okay. I would have expected not noontime. What's the one next to it?
That'd be Soul if you're
Soul,
going
yeah.
1-up.
All right. Anyways, at 61 attack, 39 speed, 35 defense, 18 res. The entire part of the build is like you take the hit and then you heal up the noontime right after as a response. So that's pretty interesting. And then you raise his attack and speed so that it's really sustainable in terms of speed. You won't need QR. So yeah, you don't really need desperation as badly in a case like this because you're constantly healing. But interesting.
Yeah, if you don't heal enough to get out of desperation range per se, then at least you still have it up so that way player phase, you can come on in and you can whack somebody twice if you need it.
This reminds me a lot of... Okay, so the just to finish this up, noontime and builds like this, the entire point of it is like, yeah, sure, your defense and res isn't that great, but if you have a lot of HP, you can really store up the HP if you hit them while they have a lot of HP still left. And if you're hitting hard enough and you're fast enough, which you definitely are with Ogma, it's pretty worthwhile. The only issue is like the low res, so it doesn't work too well against dragons. Yeah, especially if it's a dragon that's red or blue. But outside of that, it seems pretty fine to me. The only thing I'm curious about was the instant noontime, but I suppose blocking Guard and Scarred is a thing. But generally, I would have said, go for Soul. The extra bit of healing does make a big difference. Bonbon, tier 17. Is it going to be a quad Hana? That's what I'm looking at. Brazen attack, speed, heavy blade. Yeah, okay, I see it. All right, Hana. 51 attack, 36 speed, 28 defense, 30 res. This was the original quad swordsman before they released all the other heroes that were capable of doing it. It's definitely worthwhile looking at because this was something that I was considering as well when I first made her. Not as good anymore because you have other heroes with a lot of attack, a lot of speed. But at the time, which is basically a year and a couple months ago, basically right at the start of the game in the first 6 months, when skill inheritance first coming out and everything, Hana was definitely a character that people talked about using Brave Sword Plus. She comes with Life and Death, Desperation, and you just quad everything. So that was an interesting time. With that said, this build doesn't age quite as well just because of better options, better sword heroes available, but it still works. In any case, the idea is once you get hit, and the one problem, I love Brazen Attack speed builds, but the only issue is like how to get into the Brazen Attack speed. So Hana's defensively is not that good. 28 defense, 30 res. She's not bad in terms of speed, and her HP is fairly high. Granted, like Ira and Mia, they would be like in the 30s, right? Or in the high 30s. But yeah, in other words, you take a hit from anything at all, you drop into Brazen Attack speed, and then you start shining. But until you get there, it's could be kind of problematic. But the idea is simple. Once you do get in Brazen Attack speed, you attack. You're at 58 attack. You're at 43 speed. So the chance of quadding is really high. You attack at 58. Generally, if you're over 55, you have a pretty good chance of triggering Heavy Blade. Of course, the higher in the meta you go, the bigger of an issue it is. But at tier 17, it definitely functions. But yeah, the idea is you attack twice, and then you attack twice, and then Gale Force triggers. Because it's supposed to be +1, +1, +1, +1, and then another double after that with Desperation, and +1, +1, +1, +1. So the idea is to be in a constant Gale Force loop. Of course, Gale Force needs cooldown, but you'll be ready for the next battle.
Yeah, and with this build, I know that Book actually runs a combination where he uses Recip Aid to go ahead and lower Hana's overall HP to where she'll actually immediately be in the Desperation Brazen range. So that way you don't have to worry about putting her into any kind of offensive situation where she may end up taking a few more hits than you really want her to. So that way she can immediately just become a quad machine and just start mowing down everything in her path.
Yep, definitely. And I agree with that. The only issue of Reciprocal Aid is sacrificing a turn. And that's why I generally don't like it. I rather try and fight, because at least that way your character's not idling for no reason. But yeah, that's just the way I view it. So yeah, Reciprocal Aid is a great way of getting Brazen Attack speed to trigger. And depending on how badly that combat against the other character, with whatever character you use to bait out to take damage for. But yeah, no, I definitely can see it. And on even turns, you get a bit more speed, and that guarantees the quad. So yeah, it's a great build. Just kind of works a bit better on other characters at this point. But yeah, for Hana, I think this is still one of the things that makes her unique. I think she's one of the better suited heroes for this quad build. Of course, the best quad swordsman in my books is Alencia. I still think it's Alencia, because with a MIDI, Hone Flyers, and the fact that she's already really quick and hits pretty damn hard. Yeah, that's what I see it. But right, other than that, in infantry, Hana for a free-to-play option is definitely top of the class there.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably go with Life and Death. Personally, I understand the Life and Death argument as well. I mean, Life and Death is cheaper. You come with it, and you would just you could just do the entire build just becomes, Well, Bruise and attack speed's from Linus nowadays, isn't it? So
Yes, it is.
yeah. Anyways, great build. It works. It's really good, and especially once you get her going, it's a lot of fun. I know that much for sure. All right, Jasel. Tier 20. Wow, I guess he just doesn't care right now. Yeah, probably. So I would have loved for Jasel to be here to explain this, because Jasel always does these really, really interesting builds. Unless somebody here actually doesn't think this is interesting. Because how often do you see Sorcery Blade being used by not Yogurt? How often do you see Light Brand being used on Leif, for that matter? That's actually so funny to say, because, you know, that's his unique personal weapon, just nobody uses it on Leif, so. Alright, for those who forgot about Light Brand, it's one of the weird, awkward weapons where if they have more defense than res, you do pure damage. So yeah, grants defense +3 if foe's defense is greater than foe's res by +5, deals +7 damage. Really cool and all. It's mostly for like breaking through armor heroes with a ton of, you know, defense. But you go further than that, because you have Blue Flame and attack defense bond. So Blue Flame with attack defense bond works really well. But here's what really, really works well. At start combat, if unit is adjacent to a magic ally, calculus damage using the lower of foe's defense or res. So the entire point of Leif is to target those heroes with high defense, and Leif is likely going to fight an armor hero with really high defense, and then with Sorcery Blade, he's going to be attacking to the res. With Blue Flame, Sorcery Blade, attack defense bond, he's going to have the attack and defense to withstand the attack. But furthermore, he has null follow-up, so he doesn't have to worry about this ridiculous like bold fighters and shit that could actually threaten to kill him. Because yeah, this is actually such a crazy build. And here's the funny thing. Instead of using Defense Smoke, which you would expect Leif to do, given he's a physical hero, you're using Res Smoke to try and get the best possible situation. What a monstrous build. Holy crap. That's super weird to set up. Yes and no, because he has 42 defense, right? And even if they're hitting like 60 or something, he can definitely take that hit. He has 44 HP. And because he's so fast naturally, and he's taking away their guaranteed follow-up, you should not worry about getting hit by a special. And then because he has Blue Flame, attack defense bond, Light Brand, and Sorcery Blade, if he doesn't kill them in one shot, actually he wouldn't kill them in one shot. He would definitely kill them in 2 shots, and then he'll have a Blue Flame or something for the next battle. It's really, really sweet of a build. The most unique build we've seen so far today, that's for sure. One of the most unique builds I've ever seen. I've never seen someone actually use Light Brand and bring it up to like its full capacity, full potential.
What was that?
I think this Rio boy is finally waking up.
Are you awake, Ryu? Blink twice if you're okay.
Snore if you're not okay.
All right, time to ban Ryu from this VC.
Guys, we actually didn't kick him out from the VC. He's been here the entire time.
I actually didn't know that. That's pretty crazy.
This requires a lot of foresight. This is actually Galaxy Brain. You guys are absolutely correct. Jasel's been known to make crazy ass builds, and I've always given him confidence every single time. So nice, definitely nice.
Right, we're gonna have to actually take Ryu out because he's making a lot of noise in his sleep.
Yeah, this guy's shifting around a lot.
It's like
It sounds like
rolling
he's
around.
definitely a tosser and a turner.
Maybe he's having a nightmare right now about reviewing heroes on stream.
Maybe this
Or
Leif
he's having
build.
a nightmare about us actually making fun of the fact that he's sleeping on stream right now.
Someone should clip this and show it to him later.
Yeah, definitely. Especially the time where we asked him to stand by the law and then to out the corruption, but then he just snored.
Well, like I said before, Nim, nobody's ever gonna know just how truly corrupt things can be.
Oh, they will eventually. All right, but yeah, fantastic job, Jasel. Oh my. Okay, Bagel Juice at 28 crowns. Another player with Galaxy Brain levels of play. Tiki, +10 Tiki with 40 HP, 51 attack, 37 speed. Keep in mind, guys, Tiki is the faster kind of dragon. She was among the fastest dragons until the newer dragons like Hana, like Belgian Grima. 36 defense, 33 res. Of course, as Tiki, she comes with Breath of Fog. She has Reposition, Ether, Attack Speed Bond, Defense Res Link, Odd Speed Wave, Attack Defense Bond. Holy crap. Okay, so for those who don't know how Breath of Fog works, basically as long as you're within 2 spaces, 2, not 1, of a sword or dragon, you get another additional 5 defense, 5 attack. It also comes with Restore Plus, Renewal. It also comes with effective against dragon foes, so you get to 1.5x damage and the variable damage. This is actually one of the best refines that we got when we first started getting refines. It's aged incredibly well, and it's going to be very useful, especially with how the meta's really shifted heavy into armored dragons. In any case, the entire idea is you put whoever is next to him, in particular, sword or dragon ally, and then the attack defense bond, attack speed bond, and another attack defense bond. So you add another 15 attack, so you reach 66, another 5 speed, 42 speed, and then with the defense res link, so maybe you throw your ally in front of you, you reposition them back, and then use Tiki to bait them in. Yeah, it's just so good. And keep in mind, the entire thing just works so well together. Because you can deal the damage, and then you can heal up with the renewal too, and you also have effective against damage. And because she's hitting so hard, if she goes up against any armor heroes in general, she should be doing just fine because she's attacking. It's 66 magical damage into their res. Yeah, it's hard to say anything bad about this. And then the only heroes that are armored that should have quite a bit of res are the armored dragons, and then effective against dragon just smashes them. Fantastic Tiki.
Yeah,
Fonts
pretty
give me
much everything
strength.
you said is exactly how we felt about it. It's ridiculous in every stretch of the imagination.
The only unfortunate thing is I fully believe young Tiki will demote one day. So as this build is so cool right now, but in the future, guys, it has never made any sense why Tiki did not demote. I would argue Noe's a better character than Tiki in terms of being when they're both 5-star dragons. I would argue Noe's better because they have comparable everything, but then Noe has Lightning Breath, and at the time Tiki didn't even have Breath of Fog. Nowadays you can kind of see it because of Breath of Fog, but the Breath of Fog isn't that exclusive because adult Tiki, a 3 or 4-star, can also learn it. So it's kind of awkward. But yeah, I see her getting demoted one day, but whatever. It doesn't change the fact that this is an amazing build. And since Breath of Fog is exclusive to Tiki, she does this better than whatever Noe or Faye would have tried. All right, +7 flowers on a Serra. I've never even seen so many flowers on a healer yet. 40 + 10 plus speed Serra with 39 HP, 45 attack, 40 speed, 32 defense, 44 res. What in the world? Okay. Witchy Wand, for those who don't know, it's guard status. Basically, it prevents them from getting their charge, and it resets their charge. That's a fun part that people forget. Even though you can deny them from charging up their moves, for example, if they had Ophelia and they had an instant special ready, if Serra attacks, you can just wipe out their special. So there is a really good value to Witchy Wand that most people are just not aware of, apparently. But yeah, basically within 2 spaces, inflicts guard status, and then inflicts special cooldown charge +1 per attack during combat, and then neutralize special cooldown count reductions after combat, but skills that accelerate and special are still effective. The La La La's, yes. Fun fact, we also used to play the La 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 song after every stream until the La La song got taken off of YouTube. Yeah. So, Witchy Wand plus, Martyr plus, Windfire Bomb plus. Martyr plus is, I believe, what she no, actually, she comes with Rehab, or was it Martyr? I don't remember anymore. It's been so long since I've seen Serra. I can't even tell because you learned. No, it is Martyr.
This is going to be
Yeah, it is Martyr.
I hope you're enjoying it.
Wind Firebomb plus makes sense. Attack speed plus 6, that's fine. Generally, I take Miracle, but I understand what you're going for. Fortress Defense Res 3. Wait a second, why is it not Miracle? Oh, okay. I mean, Miracle would drop you to 1 HP, so you have maximum healing. But I also understand in terms of Wind Firebomb plus just having much more utility. Attack speed plus 6 really easily just by healing. That's huge. Healers are actually one of the best buffers in the game. People just forget that because no one uses healers. But yeah, she's actually really good at it. Basically, every other turn, you can just use Wind Firebomb and heal somebody up. That's pretty damn useful. Fortress Defense Res 3, Refill Staff 3, Odd Attack Wave 3. So on odd turns, you have 51 attack, 40 speed. That's pretty damn good. Fortress Defense Res, your 32 defense, 44 res. It's really rock solid. Close defense is interesting. So if you get caught out of position, you should be fine because you have 38 defense, 50 res. Interesting. So what was the reason you picked this? You guys picked this?
I mean, the biggest reason behind it is the fact that it is a very good utility healer, and the fact that you basically set her out there. She can take probably at least 1 or 2 solid hits from a really strong enemy. She can use Martyr then to recover her health, recover allies' health as well. She can basically reset charge on specials and also inflict guard upon people. She's also relatively strong because with Odd Attack Wave, you've got 51 attack whenever that's active. And, I mean, quite honestly, it's a very unique take on Serra. And as you said, I mean, you basically were thinking that it wasn't going to be a very good one. I mean, some builds will surprise you.
No, I definitely believe that. I mean, that's why we do this. But yeah. I'm just surprised it's not Miracle, because Martyr plus Miracle is the combination I'm more used to seeing.
Yeah, and I think the reason behind Windfire being on there rather than Miracle could also be a scoring factor, because in Tier 19 you care a little bit more about the scoring, but not quite as much as you would if you were a little bit higher up in
Wait
Arena.
A second, didn't earlier you argue 40 plus 2 was enough? But wouldn't a 40 plus 10 Serra with Fortress Defense Res be enough? Definitely enough?
I mean, it also depends on what the other members of the team are, and also just how much Rex cares about getting bonus kills.
I guess. But yeah, I definitely don't think it'll be for a point reason until you're in Tier 21. Because if it is for the point reason, obviously I think it's close dual infantry that you want. You guys are giving me way too much shit for not remembering she has Recover Plus. God damn it! Who the hell sees Serras anymore?
I think the other thing as well is the fact that he does actually have a C dual inherited on her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think that, yeah, I think he actually was using Fortress Def Res as a way to showcase one of her many builds that he could.
Oh god, what the fuck? Rex, what are you doing? Why? What is the point of this? Oh.
Well, hey, you gotta invest in best girl.
I'm not even sure if that's an investment, because I'm not sure you take bonus doubler over Fortress Defense Res 2 or C dual infantry.
I just don't question dedication anymore. If I see something, I admire it.
Uh-huh. Alright, dude, you do have a pretty good, damn good build. The only thing I would have said is just use Miracle. But I understand the Windfire Bomb, of course. It's just the Miracle Martyr chain is pretty legendary.
Yeah, and I do agree with that. I mean, Miracle with it would probably work a lot better to Martyr, but that could just be something that he might have just not used instead.
Mm-hmm. Alright, but yeah, congratulations. Great Serra. You killed a lot of good heroes. Which is our last hero? Which is it, Sergio?
It's Jaebrin's Hawkeye.
This is one I've been looking forward to, honestly, because this has a lot of a special meaning to me.
Why? Because you're also a big burly man with no nipples?
Hey, Hawkeye does have them. They're just covered by feathers.
Okay, if you say so.
The reason why this is special to me is because actually Jaebrin is a good friend of mine. and actually one of the first people that I really was able to connect with on Fire Emblem Heroes, basically through various forums and whatnot. And actually, his Hawkeye was really the motivation for me making my own.
Wow. I kind of feel like you got scammed. All right. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, all right, Mr. Hot Guy. Ooh, he still has the most. I know I'm supposed to be looking at his stats and skills, but like, damn, the art. Every single time I look at him, I'm like, okay, maybe this time I'll count all his pecs. But I give up every single time.
See, they actually did censor his nipples. They're just behind the feathers, alright?
They're just behind the feathers, man. That doesn't. No, I don't think so. If Hawkeye had nipples, they would be massive. No way would those tiny feathers cover them. Actually, his nipples would have pecs.
They could just be very tiny, actually. You never know.
Yeah, big pecs, tiny nipple. Nice. All right, cool.
Hey, there's no correlation there.
You're right. All right, but in terms of this Hawkeye, it's a plus attack Hawkeye with 56 HP, 55 attack, 27 speed. This guy's notoriously slow, but he's known for his higher defense and higher res. 37 defense, 35 res. He actually has more res than defense, which is he was one of the most interesting heroes a year ago, but no one would use him unless you liked Hawkeye. But I did see like 3 people like Comb use Hawkeye, yeah, we'll just stick with that. Sling Axe, rally attack defense, ether, steady breath, special spiral, some very fast steady breaths with that Sling Axe on that ether. So -2, sorry, -1. Yeah, that's what it is. And then this drops it to 2. So yeah, this is very, very fast. Instant ethers are, yeah. And then infantry pulse with that high HP, and then QR just to, yeah, that's such a great combination. So when he's attacked, he has 41 defense, and then every single time, so he gets attacked, so that's charge -1, and then another -1, and he attacks back, that's another -1. Basically, with a 4 cooldown ether, it's instant, it's coming back, and especially that QR, it's guaranteed to come back. So you're basically killing whatever's attacking you with ether, and even if you somehow drop below the HP threshold, your ether is going to drop to 2 cooldown. And it's still really easy to trigger it to get yourself up in HP. That's actually so cool.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he definitely takes pride in Hawkeye, and I mean, I actually have a very similarly built one, and honestly, just from using mine, and just kind of seeing just how strong Hawkeye is, I mean, he's definitely one of the most underrated infantry axe units, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I think until he gets his own refine, I can't really suggest people to build into him. But he is very special in the fact that he's high HP, high attack, low speed, and really good defense and res. So he has a very interesting niche that he could fulfill. And +6 dragon flowers. This is real commitment too. All right, great job, Jaebrin. I haven't seen a good Hawkeye in. Since Comb. this is so difficult. I can't even remember another Hawkeye.
Yeah,
but good job,
like
dude.
I said, he's very underrated.
What I'm more interested in is if anybody could explain to me or tell me, does this man have nipples or not? Keep in mind.
I told you this, okay?
Keep in mind, if you have nipples, that means you're a human being. But which kind of human being would have that many pecs?
Apparently him.
This man could literally grate cheese on himself.
You should count them all, actually.
Yeah. And you would not just be grating the cheese, you would be melting the cheese. Because he's hot guy.